All right, versus video time, because I know how much you guys love to see one thing fighting against another thing. Inanimate objects competing for your affection and love, and above all else, your dollars. So today we have the Barra 250Z in 25 caliber, brand new from Barra this year. Very cool air gun in my opinion, because sort of does not look like an air gun, and that's one of my most favorite things about this guy. It's got the air over the barrel shroud so that it doesn't have to have any other air storage and keeps it very rifle-y looking. On this side, we've got the Macavity Arms MA2, brand new for this year as well. Still very airgunny looking, but very cool. Why are we putting these two up against each other? Well, this is the competition for the most awesome budget air gun. And I didn't want to use big name brand air guns for this because I thought it was a little bit cooler to bring you guys some kind of more cult classics. And that's what I think both of these air guns are apt to be. So of course they're both in 25 caliber and they're both right about 450 bucks. And that's a dang awesome buy, no matter which one you get, because both of these are great guns, guys. And I have a little bit of a confession to make right here in the beginning of this video. There's not necessarily any clear winner between these two air guns. So if you're watching this video to find out who's the winner, I'm sorry, I gotta let you down. I mean, in my opinion, they're both awesome, equally awesome. But which one is my favorite? Well, you're gonna have to wait to the end to find that out. So here we go, guys. We're gonna compare the 250Z from Barra against the MA2 from Macavity Arms. Let's get it started. All right, so to keep your guys' attention right away in the beginning of this video, I'm gonna do a lethality test. So we've got a piece of pine board right here. This side is for the 250Z, this side is for the MA2. We're gonna shoot it at 25, 50, and 100 yards. This is supposed to be a 3/4 inch thick, but it looks a little bit less. I think it's maybe closer to 1/2 inch thick piece of pine board. And at the 25 yard mark, we're gonna smack it with the exploding pellets. So this should be very interesting. Then we're gonna go to just your standard JSB 33.95s for the 50 and 100 yard hits. Let's let her rip. 25 cal exploding pellet. It's got that explodey sauce there on the tip from Edgun West. I'll put the link down in the description below. These are probably some of my favorite pellets because they're just dang awesome. So first up, we're going to shoot it out of the MA2 into our 25 yard target here. Here we go. Oh man. That definitely went right through the wood. I heard it hit something on the backside. We'll go down there and check that out in a minute, but we have to go ahead and smack it with the exploding pellet and the Barra 250Z. Here we go. Nice. Smacked it exactly where I wanted to. All right, good job on sighting those guns in there, cameraman. All right, 25 yards. They both made it through. Exploding pellets completely exploded and went all the way through the pine board. Exploded out the backside. If I had to say, it looks like maybe the Barra exploded a littlest bit more on the backside there. But at 25 yards, both are lethal. So let's move it back to 50. These next couple shots will be with the JSBs there, the 33.95s. MA2's up first for 50 yards. Okay, hit like at the first notch down. Not bad. Okay, yeah, that's right. We're going to this one next. this one was almost still just dead on at 50 yards. So really almost no drop. All right, let's go see what those results look like. So you can see here, I thought I was going to need to aim high because this one hit a little bit low, but this one hit dead on. MA2 hit a little bit low. So flip it around here, you can see that at least part of the MA2 pellet made it through. I mean, not a clean hole, but definitely that is a bit more of a punch through on the 250Z side there. I mean, you can see clear daylight on the other side of that, where this one it's kind of like, yeah, but there's still some wood in the way, you know? So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to take this out to 100 yard next. What do you guys think is going to happen? I bet that the MA2 might not punch all the way through, where the 250Z, I'm pretty sure is still going to punch all the way through. But let's go ahead. We're going to find out right now. That hit kind of on the edge of the wood because the wind blew it over. So I'm going to do one more. Try and get it more closer to the middle so that we don't have any commenters saying that was too close to the edge. Here we go. There we go. There was no wind on that shot, so it hit just where I thought it was going to. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we are going to smack our 100-yard target now with the 250Z. What you're gonna love about this is I literally hit right in the aiming box with this guy because it's just so dang accurate. All right, let's go see if it went through though. All right, guys, well, they actually both passed the 100-yard lethality test. Here, I'll flip this over. I had it up like that for the shots, but we had MA2 up first. I hit it a little close to the edge on my first shot, so I'm like, let's see if we can get it closer to the middle part of the wood in case people think the edge is weaker. And both of those shots went through. MA2 lethal at 100 yards. Nice to see that. But the not only most lethal and I believe most accurate is that 250Z, because it's blowing out here. I'm sure you guys can probably hear on the camera right now the wind in the background. It's pretty windy this afternoon, and I judged my windage just about right to get that 100-yard shot in my 100-yard aiming box, which is more or less an inch in size. So there you go. Both of them lethal all the way out to 100 yards. We're gonna have to keep going on this review to really find out which one of them is the best. But I know that I have a favorite, and I'm sure you guys are gonna have your opinions. So stay tuned, and let's take a closer look at the MA2 versus the 250Z. So let's start off by kind of going over where some of the advantages are and disadvantages are with the 250Z versus the MA2. Now, on your 250Z, you actually get quite a bit more scope mounting space. So it gives you more options as far as what and where you can mount up on your optics. Both of them have nice pick rails for mounting scopes or optics, but this one just gives you such a nice long pick rail that, like I say, you can get your scope further forward if need be. Mounting different configurations of optics, you're able to get them comfortable more easily. Whereas on the MA2, it has a relatively limited amount of space, so you're going to be limited with what you can do on that space. Now, a disadvantage that I would say to the Barra versus the MA2 is going to really be in the bolt and the trigger. Now, for me, I kind of love the bolt, but I know a lot of you air gunner guys are going to go, man, that's a bolt action, ugh. And, you know, it's not a bad bolt action. It's really pretty nice. It works great, in my opinion, but you know, most air guns have kind of gone the direction of using a side lever, which is what you do get on the MA2. And with the trigger on the Barra, I mean, this gun, I would say, shoots more crisp. It definitely has a crisper, better feel to it, but the trigger just has a more sort of a spongy long travel. And I've got this trigger actually adjusted, I believe, all the way for having like the shortest travel and lightest weight that you can kind of put on it. And it's nice. I mean, the gun, and like I say, it feels very crisp, whereas the MA2 feels kind of doingy or twangy, just because of the way the spring and everything is operating in there. But the trigger on the MA2 is better, it's lighter, and I think the trigger is more crisp, if that makes sense. I hope this makes sense. So anyways, let's go grab that MA2, and I'll go over a couple of the advantages on that guy and show you some of the disadvantages with that one versus this guy here. All right, so here's the MA2, and as you can see, I've got my dye-free company grip on here, which I really just prefer and love using these dye-free company grips. Now, I plan on putting one on my 250Z, but what I'm gonna have to do is kind of cut or, you know, like Dremel off a little bit of just this flared part right up here on the grip in order for it to fit and line up there on the 250Z. So you can swap out grips on the 250Z for most AR style grips, but you know, some, especially with these more elongated, you know, back flares or whatever that part is called, you know, it's not going to fit just perfectly without some modification. So I would say that's an advantage to the MA2. Now, you know, I mentioned the side lever versus bolt action. The Macavity arms really does have a very smooth side lever, and the trigger is very nice on this. It feels more sure, I would say, than on the 250Z. The 250Z, you know, I would say maybe it's a little bit springy or spongy compared to the MA2 here, which has got a very nice short first stage and just light, crisp second stage. And it's all made out of metal and just a nice small blade in your hand. The trigger on the 250Z looks cool from the outside, but it's actually just plastic, and it's just not as nice as this. Yeah, MA2 wins in the trigger category. It also wins in the size category, not necessarily in the weight. I think they're both really about the same weight, but and especially, you know, weight is kind of subjective, because what kind of scope are you going to put on it? Are you going to put on a big can, or are you going to put on a small can? Blah blah blah. But just size, you know, the MA2 is definitely a smaller package, especially if you run it, you know, without the can. I mean, now we've got a very compactable and worthy truck gun. All right, so here's a look at both of them kind of lined up with one another, so that you can see once you've got a can or a suppressor there on the MA2, it's really pretty much just as long as the 250Z. Now, you know, obviously, in all fairness, I don't have a can on the 250Z right now, but, you know, just for size comparison, it's not huge. You know, I mean, it is a long air gun. Yes, the 250Z is longer. Perspective-wise, the 250Z is not humongous. Because another kind of cool thing about the MA2 that I haven't really tested really a whole lot with the 250Z, just because it is longer and I don't bring it around in the truck a lot, is just how good of a truck gun it makes. And I can definitely attest to the MA2 being able to like be kind of leaned up on the back seat, and you go around a corner and it falls over or whatever, and it will hold accuracy. It's got this nice barrel band up here. The barrel is tensioned and everything on it is pretty tight. So as long as you got your scope mounted up tight, you know, it can bang around a little and hold zero, which is pretty dang awesome. A lot of air guns, you know, especially if you like whack the barrel, they're gonna lose zero real quick. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and get back to some more shooting with these things. $773. $777. $774. $774. $786. $918. 9:15, 9:17, 9:17, 9:17, and that's it. See, sometimes the bolt is maybe a little bit stiff on this, but this is like brand new. I haven't broken it at all. And I noticed on my 22 cal that at the very beginning, everything was a little bit stiffer than obviously after a few hundred shots in. So, but definitely thing is pushing quite a bit harder, I would say, quite a bit. Not that the MA2 doesn't have an adjustable regulator, so you could adjust up the regulator, blah, blah, but the thing is that right now we're getting actually even still a couple more shots per fill out of the 250Z than the MA2. The MA2, we're getting about 3 solid mags, per fill, and that's 3 10-shot mags. And out of the Barra, I'm getting closer to 4 mags per fill, and those are 9-shot mags. So a few more shots per fill out of the Barra and a few more foot-pounds. Again, not that they're not both tunable. The Barra has an externally adjustable regulator. The MA2 has an adjustable regulator. You could tune either of these air guns for different power settings, but I'm just showing them basically with what they came stock, and also just what they're both performing, in my opinion, they're best at. Externally adjustable regulator right there. So this is where you would make regulator adjustments, and it is obviously on the outside of the air gun, whereas with the MA2, you can see there's no external adjustment for the regulator. So the only way to do that is by taking this thing apart, basically, to adjust the regulator, which is sort of horribly inconvenient. Now, when it comes to filling the MA2, they did include a Foster fitting male connection there on the end, which makes it for a pretty easy time getting this thing filled. The Barra uses a fill probe. It's a proprietary fill probe for the Barra, but I have had some cross-compatibility luck. I think my airgun fill probe works on this, and some of the AEA fill probes work on this. So it's not super picky. They all, I've had several, like I say, that seem to work on it. Both of these guys, as you can see, are set up for AR furniture. So we could put, an AR folding style stock on either of them. We could swap out the grip on either of them. So pretty much tie in that category. The MA2 comes with 3 magazines, and in 25 cal, they are 10-shot magazines. They're pretty nice magazines, pretty easy to load. My only one real complaint on these mags is that they're completely made out of plastic. Now, the Barra over here comes with 2 mags and a single-shot tray. The single-shot tray is made out of metal and secures into place with this little magnet down here in the bottom. And they also obviously have some metal and some plastic in the construction, but I think overall they're a more durable and better made magazine than on the MA2. The one disadvantage to the Barra magazines is that they are a little bit more of a pain in the butt to get loaded. Let's go ahead and see what we can do out of both of these guys with a, go ahead and add a moderator on there and shoot some 100-yard groups. So here we go, we'll do that next. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Back on the exact same original spot. Holy cow. Is that even possible? All right, so here's how our groups turned out for us today. Now, I want you guys to get a good close look at this right here, because we've got 0.5 of an inch center to center right there, marked up center to center on that group right there. This was, I believe, actually 6 shots, because I thought we were having like a glitch in the matrix or something. 6 shots at 100 yards. That is just so dang impressive. So over here, just to get a little measurement on this guy for you, we've got center to center right there on the slugs at 1 inch, just basically 1 inch, almost 1.1 inches or 1.05 inches center to center right there at 100 yards on the slugs with the 250Z. Really just dang good accuracy out of that 250Z. Amazing, amazing accuracy. So then with the MA2, we shot this 5-shot group here with the 33.95s and this 5-shot group here with the slugs. Now, I really didn't expect it to do too much better than that with the slugs, because I haven't had a whole lot of luck with the 25 cal MA2 and slugs really yet. The 30 cal MA2 did shoot slugs actually pretty good, but not with this 25 cal. Now, I have got some better results with pellets in the past, and it seems to really like the JSB 2539s. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a group that I shot when I was filming the review for the MA2, and it turned out, well, a lot better than any of the groups that we shot today. So I think it's only fair that we show you guys how this one turned out. Let's go check that out. That is some awesome 100-yard smacking right there. We had one shot go a little bit high into the left. Everything else fell right there in a group literally the size of the tip of my pointer finger. Sub 1 inch group, take the one shot out, 100 yards. That MA2 in 25 cal is absolutely drilling. So, the Barra 250Z versus the Macavity Arms MA2. Which is your favorite? As I told you in the beginning, I will tell you guys which one is my favorite, and I hope maybe some of you stayed tuned to find out. So for those of you that did, drum roll please. Which one's my favorite? 250Z. Obviously, I love accuracy, and this thing has astoundingly good accuracy. Not that the Macavity Arms is not accurate, but this thing is like I thought there was a glitch in the matrix kind of accurate. So that's, I mean, to me, any gun that does that is just gonna win whatever sort of competition we're having. But I also genuinely like the form factor better on this one. I really like the looks, and just that they're doing something different, you know? We've got kind of a throwback with the bolt action. We've got this air in the shroud over the barrel, which just gives the whole thing a much different look. Cool M-lock sort of chassis style stock, and I just like it. So that's the winner in my book. Not to say that the Macavity Arms is no good. This is a great air gun, guys, and they're both right around the same price. In fact, you could pick both of these up and some cool accessories for them for less than what you'd spend on other competing, you know, Gucci type air guns. So, I mean, I think these things are dang awesome, and I hope you guys thought this video was awesome. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I sure enjoyed making this one for y'all, because these are just fun to shoot. If you want to hang out with me some more, click one of the other couple of videos I've got on them. Click on one of the click one of the other couple of videos I've got up on screen right now for you guys, or click those links down in the description below. Help support the channel. I'll make more cool videos like this one. And until next time, shoot straight, stay free. I love you guys.